Hey guys, and welcome to Biscuits Total War. This is another how-to video showing you how to actually unlock what are called the Oliphants or yubtseb elephants, or just plain simply the massive elephants in Rome Total War. Now, you can't actually find this unit in your roster. What you've got to do is actually unlock it. So with this little how-to video, I'm going to show you how to unlock this elephant. Now, as you can see, the elephant is absolutely huge, much bigger than your standard elephants, as you can see here. So the first thing to unlock this elephant, the way I do it, is that you've got to unlock the rebels. Now, if you watch my previous videos, I've shown you how to unlock the rebels. So if you can do that first part to unlock the rebels, I can then show the rest and how I get these yubtseb, these Oliphants or massive elephants, to be a playable unit within Rome Total War. And I'll show you actually how to bring them online as well as just have them in custom single player battles. So get a pen and paper and follow exactly what I do. I'll make it as simple and as easy as possible. I say this all the time, if I can do it, I'm sure you guys can do it. So please, if you have any queries or questions, leave a little note at the bottom of the comment section and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. Okay, cheers. I'll start it now. Okay, well the very first thing you need to do is actually bring up your data file within your Rome Total War game. Now, if you watch my previous videos, I've shown you how to get to that data file, and that's through going through either Steam, or if you don't have a Steam version, how to find it on the CD version. So I'll put a little link on my description here, just showing you which video to check out to actually find out how to do that. So once you've got your data folder up, which I'll just bring up here, data, you scroll down to the very bottom. You've got lots of little files on here, but there's one file that's going to be the important file, and it's this one here. It says export /descr/unit. Now this file is the one file that tells the computer or the game which units are going to be opened, which factions get certain units. So if all the modding that we're going to do in the next videos is all going to be circled around this one specific file. So what I'd really strongly recommend you do, in fact I don't recommend, I insist, what you do is that you need to copy this folder. So on my desktop, what I've done, I've got this little folder here, and in there I've got a copy of that file. The reason being, when you start altering and editing this file, it does make it very vulnerable. If you make any edits or any alterations on that file and you've forgotten what you've done and you try to change it back and it doesn't change back, you'll have difficulties playing Rome Total War, either online or just plain simply loading it up. So what I always do, I have a backup copy of that file stored there. Now I really insist and really recommend that you do that, because if you don't do that, you do run the risk of having to reinstall Rome Total War. So any alterations that you're going to do, keep a copy of the original one. As you can see, I've got mine there in that folder. It's only 236 kilobytes, so it's not going to take up hardly any space on your computer, but I really do recommend you do have a copy of that file, just so you've got the original one to fall back onto. So what I'll do now, I'll double click on that file to open it up, expand it, and then on my keyboard I'm going to press Ctrl and F, which you'll find bring up a little box to search for a certain file or a certain thing within this file. Just simply type in the word cheat and then return. It will take you all the way down this notepad, down towards the bottom, where you've got this thing called cheat Oliphants. Now this is the actual unit that I've been using in that previous video. Now to get it playable within your actual game, you'll see there's certain characteristics. It tells you who owns that unit, so it says slave. It tells you what type of unit it is, what the stats are. But if you look here on attributes, if you scroll across, you'll see this one attribute that says no/custom. Now what this means is that you can't bring this unit into custom battles. So simply to get around that, all you've got to do is click on that and delete no custom and near the comma, then click save. And by doing that, it's now going to be a custom unit within your slave faction. So if you've watched my previous videos, which again there's a link to at the bottom, it'll show you how to unlock slaves as being a playable faction for custom battles. If you've done that, it's going to be nice and simple. So all you do is delete that no custom and then click save. If you don't have administrative rights to your folders, what you might need to do is simply copy the file, paste it onto your desktop, Control F, type in cheat, go down, delete the no custom, which I've already deleted, click save, and then drag the file back across. It'll ask you, do you want to replace it, and you say yes. So by doing that, what you should have basically done is just deleted one way or another that no custom attribute towards the yubtseb or Oliphants. So now once you've done that, all you've got to do now is load up Rome Total War. Okay, so I've loaded up Rome Total War. What I need to do now is go to single player. I'll go to custom battles. Let's go on to the grassy flatlands, nice and simple. And what you should have done, you should now have the Rebels faction if you've done my previous video to unlock it. So you click on the Rebels faction, scroll down, and what you would have seen, there's now a new unit there which wasn't previously there called the yubtseb elephant. So what you do, you click on it 3 or 4 times, whatever you want to do, and then you go to this little button here which says to save your army. So click on that one, call your army a name. For example, I'll call it maybe yubtseb. I've already got a few of these saved, as you can see on my game. So yubtseb 3. Which is really important that you save it. And then let's give the computer a few units. There we go. So now we've got the units unlocked. And we've done the easy part now. We can play this on single player against the computer, which is kind of fun. But it's more fun bringing these units into an online battle. There we go. You can see them crushing the poor militia infantry. So what I'll do, I'll just come out of that. Now the easy part is unlocking it, which we've just done. But if you go on to multiplayer, go into an online game, you'll notice that you won't be able to join many games. Now my loading time is going to be fairly slow because I'm actually also uploading a video on YouTube as I speak. So you have to bear with me for a few moments while the hourglass spins and spins and spins. Hopefully it doesn't take all day to get on. But you'll notice when you go online, it says not compatible game data. That's because Steam or GameSpy or Rome Total War knows that you've altered the file, therefore you can't actually join any battles. So there's a way of getting around that. So the main thing is, hopefully if you've saved those units, so if I go back onto single player, custom battle, It should be saved there, so I can load that. You've got them there. So what you need to do is come back out of Rome now. So I'm going to exit out of Rome Total War. Okay, so now back out of Rome Total War. Now what I need to do is that original data file that I've got of the export-descr-unit, the one that's been unmodified. I simply click on it, copy, go back into my data file where the modded file is, and then go paste. And it'll ask me, do I want to replace that file? And I'll go yes. There we go. So what I've done, I've actually edited the file, loaded my army, saved it, and now I've basically altered the data file back to the original way by copying and pasting an unaltered one. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm back to square one now. I've put it back to how it originally was by keeping that original file intact. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back onto Rome Total War. So bear with me 2 seconds just while I do that. Okay, as you can see, I'm back onto Rome Total War. So I'm going to go back into multiplayer just to make sure that everything's worked correctly. So I should now be able to join online games because I've changed that data file back to how it originally was. By having those changes on the file, the computer is smart enough to work out that you've altered the files, and therefore prevents you from joining games because it believes you're trying to cheat, I believe. So it's quite smart. So let's have a little look. Yep, it's now allowing me to join the games. As you can see, it no longer says non-compatible. So, which is absolutely perfect. So, say I joined a game, or I hosted a game. To unlock the elephants for either single player against the computer or against the friends online, all you'd do is you'd load your own battle up, and you'd have the rebels as a playable faction because you've unlocked them, like I've said previously in my videos. Simply bring them up, and you'll notice that it's no longer showing on your list of units. But what you should have done is you should have saved your previous army. So if you click on this button here and then go to load an army, and if you go to yubtseb 3, that's the units that I saved before, load it. Now for some reason, if you save 4 or 5 units, it may only save 2 of the files on here, but that doesn't matter, because all you need is just one of those units cards to be saved, because you can just double click on them and bring as many as you want. So that is how you unlock the yubtseb elephants, or the Oliphants, for single player and multiplayer. So as long as you manage to unlock that and then save the army on here, you can bring that into a single player as well as online player. Now I do have to highlight, if you do bring it onto online playing, a lot of people do get a bit frustrated because it's an elephant that is fairly overpowered, but secondly, it can cause the game to crash because not everybody has that unit unlocked. If you bring that unit into an online game, often you can use it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, or sometimes even less, and then what will happen is the game will actually physically crash. So if you've loaded the actual game itself, you're going to kill the game, but if you join another person's game, they can always kick you out if needs be. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Maybe go online, give it a go. If you get stuck, please leave a little comment. I'd love to see how you guys manage to get along with it. But it's basically, if you can get this done, this is going to be the bread and butter to actually unlock and bring all the units to my further modding videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. This is Biscuits signing out, wishing you all the best. Bye now.